Welcome back to Mars. So, we have a
died.
couple of problems, as you can tell. Unfortunately, we're really short on water over here in this dome in the middle of nowhere, and I'm trying to desperately get some of my moisture vaporators online. I think we're going to get in there here in just a quick second and finish a few of these things up, and hopefully these people will stop dying horrible deaths. I lost a couple. Oh my god, I lost 5? They're dropping like flies in this dome. That's kind of sad, to be honest with you. It's probably all this. Think of all the children who are dying, crop failures, deaths in the people. All right, we're finally back up on water now. God, horrible. Let me go ahead and do the hygroscopic coating across the board. We're going to need polymers here. Yeah, so that should be fine. Let me crank this back down to about 5. We don't really need that many parts out here in the middle of nowhere.
Crop failure reported.
Right. Crop failure where? This is a brand new dome, I think, so that's not going to really have crops yet. And we also had lots of water issues. So,
colonists are
this
departing.
episode, we are going to focus on a couple of things. Number one, I got my power back up and running. I need to keep upping the power, though, until we're able to get our carbonate processor and our GHG factories back online. We are hopefully going to get nuclear terraforming and the terraforming amplification up, so that's going to let us hopefully do more terraforming, although I assume it's going to cost more power. So with our natural expansion, we should be getting some people into our fusion reactors soon, and that's what my goal right now is, that I need to make sure people are reproducing and they're moving into our New Denmark dome. New Denmark, of course, is the newest megadome. That's just going to be a standard megadome. We are focusing on power, but it's pretty, it's laid out pretty much the same as our other domes have been. So 132 capacity, a little bit less than some of the other domes. In addition, we are trying to build our Golden Oldies dome. This is will be the replacement retirement community once everything kind of gets built up. We're waiting on concrete to get delivered here. So in terms of power, we are producing quite a bit of polymer. 33 per sol. I think I would like to put down another megadome soon and do another factory. Now, we had talked about before possibly doing a factory specifically for nothing but, say factory workers, although I don't know if that's going to really make sense. Like, what would these people do if they don't have their factories to work in? There's so many, there's only so many jobs that can go around in a megadome. So I think we need to keep the factories as they are, but I might have a dome that's a little bit more focused on manufacturing than anything else. Like, this dome is going to be focused on fusion power. We have a dome that's going to be focused on retirement. We could have a megadome that's focused on farming as well. We talked about that in the past before. Why don't we grab a group of people from Earth? We have not brought any scientists up in quite a while. There's 12 scientists that could be coming with us. There are 11 botanists and a bunch of geologists. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and go into the specialization tree, clear it up, and we'll bring along as many botanists, engineers, and scientists as possible. So let's apply that, and there we go. We're going to bring 6 scientists. I really don't want no specialization if I could help it, please. Does that fill it up? That does fill it up. So no specializations are off the board or off the ship. Just geologists, botanists, and scientists. We need a bit of replacement coming up for our Trigon, the Curie Trigon up here. Look how good this dome is doing. Very high morale, very high comfort. They've just been kind of chugging along for the longest time. 50% production with 20% power consumption. That's going to be quite a bit. We finally got melt the polar ice cap. Let's take a look. This is going to cost 400 fuel. We will lose a rocket, but wow, 20% water and 10% atmosphere in one go. Holy crap. This might be worth building another rocket. And let's send that to Mars. One of these are going to take some goods home. One of them is going to be lost forever. Yeah, absolutely. This is absolutely worth this much money. So if we get 50% water, let's see, what are we going to jump up to? We're going to immediately get sustainable pine trees. We're also going to get 10% more atmosphere. We'll be just shy of the requirement for toxic rain ending. So that means those are going to come soon. Oh, hey, at 50%, we get blue skies. That's really cool. We're going to stop dust storms at 50%, which is awesome. How cool is that? This is going to be a massive project. So we should have the fuel. Let's see, we've got 700 fuel stockpiled, so that'll be all set. So pretty much all we have to do is get a rocket here, and we'll dedicate that rocket to going to suicide and blow up the ice caps. Very, very cool. And hopefully that addition, that's a lot of water that we're going to be able to get to improving our moisture vaporators. Remember, as that atmosphere is going up, our moisture vaporators are starting to make more and more water. So hopefully at some point that will be sustainable. From what I've read, by the way, the end game water situation just seems to be spam a bunch of water vaporators until you get the atmosphere. And even before then, it was, spam it anyways. Before the DLC for terraforming was in. Boy, what an ugly colony I have. I was sitting here looking at it after last episode, and it's really all over the place and such a cluster. It's one of those things, if you don't play the game a lot and all the way through to the end, then you're not really going to know what to do in the future. So I'm excited we've got this far, to be sure. But next time I would do a lot of things different. But I am excited to have gotten this far in general. Normally I have a problem with, I'm a restart king, so I'll be like, oh hey, I could do this differently next time. Why don't we try that? But this time around, I'm very, very happy that we wound up focusing hardcore and, getting the right build, so to speak. We're about to get smacked by a tornado. Hopefully this is not going to hurt us too terribly bad. There's the leak right away. Low on concrete, surprisingly. Now, if I thought we were going to be here, I don't know how much longer we are going to be in this playthrough. We're going to be better on power as more people move into the new Denmark Dome. So maybe I could look at centralizing our waste rock processing. We could do it, we could actually do it right over here, right? Because all it is, it's all remote stuff. Although we would want to connect in some power. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this a shot because I don't know how it's going to work out. Great, one of our domes got smacked in the face, so we have a massive fracture. That's okay, we've got enough materials, hopefully, to fix that. But yeah, we're going to put down... We're going to do it like this. We're going to throw down a bunch of concrete waste rock processors. They produce 3 concrete each. They use 5 power each extractor or processor. I'm going to throw down a ton of these. This may be way too much, but my thought process is, what I'm going to try to do is centralize all of our waste rock, I guess production for lack of a better word. I'm going to put down a ton of large dumping sites here. And what I'm going to do is remove the old dumping sites. And I'm going to try to make it that we're always having any of our waste rocks brought into this area. Again, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but it seems as though it wouldn't hurt to kind of centralize where a lot of our concrete is coming to and from. So we could have like 1 or 2 concrete depots here. This drone hub, I can actually add a bunch more drones to it since we're going to be getting quite a few, we're going to be having quite a few buildings here all of a sudden. It needs it needs machine parts and metal to run. And we'll connect in, well actually what I'll do here is I'll kill this dumping site. And bring in the, I can just go from the bottom end of it, I forgot. So we'll just do the power like that. Now what I'll do here is I'm going to start killing the newer waste rock processors that I've got randomly in different areas here. And I'd like to start getting rid of our large dumping sites. Most of them, not all of them. And the cool thing is I think that our shuttles will start delivering all of this waste rock to the new areas. I'll have to take a look and see how soon it takes. But I believe that's what they will do. And we'll kill most of these. We want to obviously have a few dumping sites near our carbonate processors. But I'm fairly sure that our shuttles will pick up waste rock and deliver it where it needs to go. Here's to hoping. I don't know 100%. But I feel like I've seen them do this before. Okay, we have new passengers who are ready to land. Now, these are going to be this is going to be a mix of people. So I think I'm just going to land them right here, right in the middle of the compound. And I'm not really going to focus too much on where they're going. They're going to kind of sort themselves out as needed. No more recurring cold waves. We've hit 50% temperature. Awesome. Let's go ahead, now that we've got a shuttle on the ground, let's go ahead and queue up our expedition in order tourist rocket unloading. So I can't do this until it's done unloading people. All right, I'll have to wait for that.
New colonists have arrived.
Spirit Man 2, you are going to be chosen to melt the polar ice caps with your beautiful shuttleness. Boy, it's been, you know what, you've done us a great service here all these years. You've transported hundreds of people, hundreds of materials. We'll never forget you, my friend. until we do. But until then, you know, Godspeed and all that. So, are we getting any stuff delivered here? I'm not sure if my theory is going to pan out or not. I know the drones will bring the waste rock here. Oh god, I really do hope that the shuttles bring waste rock. I could have sworn I saw them picking up waste rock before. Checking back up on the Golden Oldies Dome, it looks like we've got food delivered and most of our service buildings are starting to show up. So, no unemployment, no vacant workspaces. So, is it perfectly balanced? That's funny. This should be the senior dome, right? So seniors, we have 54 seniors here. That is exactly what I was hoping for. All of the seniors are popping in as soon as the space is becoming available. Very, very cool. Love you, old bastards. Thanks for stopping in. No, I mean, we have to have somewhere for our old retirees to go, right? That needs to be, that would be a responsible thing to do. And it's very healthy for your community to make sure that the seniors are getting somewhere safe and, you know, generally somewhere nice to have their later years. Meanwhile, the Martian University, or our university dome here, what did I call this? I called it the Cambridge Dome. That has finished, so we now need to... Did I screw something up? What did I mean to put down? I think I meant for this to be... I meant to have 3 Martian universities, not 2. In my passion for symmetry, I think I screwed one of them up. We did put down the arcology. We don't need this this apartment with this arcology. Yeah, that's what I think I was going to do. A Martian university goes there. So we're training on auto with all 5 shifts open. Oop, that's the space bar. Yeah, all 3 shifts are open. Sorry, with the 5 people each, not the 5 shifts. And we'll do one more Martian university right here. Beautiful. That's going to be super, super cool. Now, I think for specialization, I want to say I don't want anyone else to move into this dome. Only no specialization people. That is my hope. So this will encourage no specialists to go here, I think. I think. We're finally at the point where we have so many domes that we're not able to fill them all at the moment. How are we doing on population growth? I've really not paid attention in a minute. We are 803, 813. We had a shuttle delivery, so that's going to increase it pretty hardcore. I guess I could focus on doing a couple of transport runs coming up. Once our Spear Demand 2 takes off. We're still waiting on a ton of fuel delivery right now. Is this shuttle hub really busy? Yeah, pretty much. Let's go ahead and queue up a bunch more drones to be made. We've just reached 35% overall terraforming progress, so we just got 10,000 research, which was awesome. 60% water, I forgot all about this. We're going to get a free rocket, which will be useful, and if we ever are able to construct a capital city, we'll get 200 enthusiastic applicants, although that's going to require, I think, completely clean air. Somehow we're already short on water again, which is brutal. Unless we happen to... Oh, you know what? So, my fancy idea about creating an area where all of our garbage is going to be delivered does not seem to be working. I don't think the shuttles are bringing materials. They're not bringing the waste rock. So that's my fault. And what I'm going to do, I guess, is probably relocate this entire area somewhere where all of the garbage is kind of centralized. So I think this drone hub can act as the big gatherer. We'll probably put a bunch of them here. We need to make sure that we keep a balanced rate where we're getting concrete, but we still have enough that the carbonate processors are also making use of all the waste rock. So that's my fault. Bit of a bummer on that one, but we'll have to relocate or just disable, destroy all of these waste rock processors I just made. And yeah, I'll have to go ahead and redo that one. Checking up on our Golden Oldies Dome, I wound up having, oh, space junk, another space junk thing. I really probably need to send a rocket to fix this, but rocket costs are further being increased by 10. Unlock an expedition to reclaim resources. I think I'm going to do this expedition, because at this point we're having more and more higher and higher fuel costs. And before it gets too much of a problem, or before there's some kind of horrible, atrocity that happens because I've not been taking care of this, I'll go ahead and try to get this expedition done. I hope this is not one that you lose a rocket for. Let's take a look. This is Clean Junk in Space. It's okay, so it's only 9 engineers and 6 hours, and that's that. Cool, that's fine. I have one rocket that can land as soon as we do have a spot open. And we're still waiting for, surprisingly, we're still waiting for all of our fuel to get here. And it's weird because I've got the fuel. That's not at all a problem. The issue right now seems to be that our drones are just not prioritizing this rocket, even though it is, pretty much a highest priority.
Incoming.
And I do have like over 65 drones in this drone hub. So our final metal extractor for the metal dome, it has been completely used up. The resource is now used up. So I think what I'm going to do, in order to cut down some costs, and since we have so much open space, I'm going to go ahead and say, let's start moving some people out of this dome. I want to, no, I don't actually know, I'm a little bit, no, this should be the easy way to do it. I don't want anyone here. If I set this to nobody, that should kick everybody out of this dome, but without doing it immediately and without endangering them. So everyone that is currently in the metal dome is going to go look for a new place to live. Oof, we just had a rocket hit somewhere really, or a meteor hit somewhere really bad. Oh god. Best place to hit right now.
Found.
Our retirement dome just got nailed, which means it's out of water. Speaking of, I probably do need to put down a storage tank for events just like this. We'll do oxygen, and if I can fit, I can't even fit the water. There we go. I'll put down oxygen and water storage in case those issues come up again. Oops, that wasn't the water deposit. This is right here. There we go. Oops. Don't fight me. There we go. And let me put down a battery as well, so that this particular dome has its own local backup. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do much about the fact that it is currently out of resources right now as it is. Oh, we have more and more domes getting hit, or more and more leaks happening.
Meteor
Kind of brutal.
incoming.
At least they're in the way, or they're in the area that can get repaired, thankfully. We're getting crushed by meteors. In fact, one's about to strike
Meteor
the last
incoming.
day's oasis. I also went ahead and put down that we do not want any seniors in the last day's oasis. I am trying to slowly but surely shuffle everyone into the Golden Oldies Megadome. That's the retirement community up there to the northeast. Ooh, we have a problem where one of our spots here, one of our pipes cannot be fixed by it's out of range, so we need to fix this immediately. This is a major network, a major pipe into the main area, both in our normal housing area and also to our retirement community. So let's get that fixed up as soon as we can. What a horrible spot. I did try to put down a MDS laser in this area so I can stop having that type of issue again.
There are Earthsick colonists.
Earthsick colonists, yes, because we are having lots of problems there. Who has a heavy drone load? You, Mr. Drone Hub, you are going to be getting more of our drones that come. Well, yeah, I did just go ahead and reassign like all of my large dumping sites, so that's a bit of a hot mess right now. All right, so our domes are starting to get a bit more populated. The metal dome has almost been emptied out, so we've got 75 people in the Cambridge dome, which is lovely. I think that means, yep, sure enough, we have all 3 shifts completely
Crop
filled, which is
failure
great.
reported.
Crops, yeah, we're having some issues there. Let me do, actually, I'll tell you what, since we don't really have enough to fill this job, why don't we go ahead and say, let's do automation on this dome, or this farm, and I'm going to put down a little garden here instead. Most of our farm domes should be able to keep the same output going. Down here in the new rare metal dome, people are finally starting to move in. We've got some geologists who are in place in the metal dome or in the metal extractor. Let's go ahead and do the amplify and upgrade on you. Meanwhile, you've got your farm coming along. Level only 1 farmer each. I think I'm going to go ahead and put down some. Just do one more apartment complex for a minute. I really didn't flesh out this dome all that much. I kind of left it as it was. We'll do a gymnasium as well, and also put down a park just to have people. The parks are nice because they are completely free of maintenance. They're there and they satisfy the relaxation, exercise,
Anomaly found.
and then playing for any kids. Although most of our kids should be in a different area, but still, that is compared to say a space bar. And Snafu brought this up in one of the comments a couple episodes ago. Your space bar is requiring lots of people to work to provide the relaxation and social aspect. So, having a garden in
Crop
place can
failure
really be
reported.
pretty nice for, not even having to put any money into it. Well, other than the upfront concrete cost, you're not really putting a lot into it. We just finished up the water conservation research, so we actually did get a bunch of water back. I think we were short by about 10 or so. So that was actually pretty helpful. We gained about 20 water in that, so that
Resources
was
are
a
low.
useful little technology. We are going to go in next with Project Mohole. That's going to let us set up an extractor that's going to get waste rock, metals, and rare metals without the need of an actual deposit. So if we're able to get that somewhere central nearby, I won't have to keep expanding domes just to go out and hunt down metal. Before we wrap this episode up, let's take a look at each dome and see how it's doing. I kind of wanted to make sure that I've not been ignoring any domes lately. There is a lot going on, so I need to make sure that... Oh, we need a little bit more drones over here, I think. Need to make sure nothing's falling to the wayside. So people over here are not all that happy in the Farming Dome Bravo. You've got missing services. Let's take a look at someone directly. What is your deal? You're pretty happy. A lot of you are pretty average. Missing luxury, missing shopping. That's pretty much standard, I think, for most of my domes. You are super grumpy. Are you homeless? No functional residents. Oh, your dome has probably been offline for some time because we were not able to get concrete over here to repair it. That's unfortunate. I think with the addition of our new concrete extractors, that might change the situation just a little bit. Let's bring you down to about 10, and let's bump this one up a little bit more, since it still says it's under a high load. Right, so you're there. Rare Metal Dome is finally getting the geologist moved in here, so we've got people working in both metal extractors right now and the rare metal extractors, which is very, very helpful. Nothing else going on there. Oh no, we have food short. What? Why in the earth do we have a food shortage here? Because I'm not accepting food. Did I not have... Okay, so it's a drone problem. We're not able to deliver. We're not delivering the food at the right time. Also, this is a problem. I have a random concrete spot here, random concrete depot that is actually requesting a bunch of deliveries. So that's causing my drones a bit of grief. You guys are also going all the way over here to drop off some of your waste rocks. So let's put some of these a little bit closer by. Oh, that's right. We have a ton of these. Yeah, I'm sorry. We have a ton of rare metal extractors, so they're going to need somewhere to drop off all of their materials. Now, you have 100 food. Why are we not pulling the food into here? I do have a grocer. Is it because I have this limit set to 100? They should be pulling food whenever they need to. Or is it simply that we just don't have enough drones to do all the work of both of these domes? They might have to catch up for a bit, although it's a bit annoying. We've got... Maybe there's something about this. What if we say this to 50? What if I bring this down to 50? Are they going to suddenly go grab all of that food? Alright, I'm going to pull a bunch of drones off of our main hub here, since it seems to be pretty low in terms of the overall load, the overall workload. So let's grab a bunch of drones. We're going to plop them down inside of this drone hub to the west. That's 20 extra drones, I think, so hopefully this might make a dent. We want to see food getting delivered. What is happening?
Resources are low.
I think we just have everything else queued up, but like food is not a high priority for some reason. That's kind of bonkers to me, to be honest with you. Let me put down another grocer and diner, because I think I should have had 2 more in general, one of each food building, because of the sheer amount of people we have in this dome. I'm at a real huge loss here because I mean we have a food depot.
There are Earth.
We have a ton of food on said depot.
Crop failure reported.
But nobody's bringing the food inside. It's almost like they were pulling it from a farm instead of the actual depot, which really is just strange to me. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. They're getting food though. They're finally getting food, so that's going to get fixed up. Sorry about that, guys. I hate for you to go through a little bit of a starving period. Our metal dome has been fully evacuated, and I'm going to go ahead and tear down all the structures that were around this dome, and we'll tear it down to completely save on materials, which will be relatively helpful. I think actually if I turn it off, yeah, we got a little bit back in terms of power and whatnot. So we will kill this dome. You've been wonderful to us, my friend. Our new Cambridge dome is looking pretty good. We do have a little bit of a homeless problem, but I think that's okay. We can kind of work with just a couple homeless. Baby Make Alpha has nobody living here. Really? Interesting. Why don't we encourage some adults to live here? Maybe that's my problem, is that they're all focused on moving somewhere else because everywhere else has a preferential specialization or age group. New Leeds is looking pretty good. Lots of high stats there. The tourist dome is not doing too shabby either. Now, again, I wanted to have this dome for tourists, but I don't know if that ever wound up being a thing. Remember, the only way for me to really make this work was to say no. I think we had to specifically say we wanted no Martian-born. I guess we can just try to encourage tourists to move here, is what we wound up talking about, was just giving it a random plus thumbs up. The Kids R Us Dome has 96 people in it. Are these all chitlins in here? We have 2 adults somehow who are living in here, but by and large, the children dome is still doing well. Do we have enough kids? I don't know. We might have wanted another school, but I think the amount of playgrounds we have is pretty important. Yeah, you have to keep up with the playgrounds, I think, too. Right, New Denmark is our power dome. It's got 41 people in it, so we still have lots of room to expand there. We're a little short on power, but I think during the night shift, did it turn night or is it already night? I think it's actually just turning night, so we're still short on power a little bit. I could focus one of these up a bit, and that might help out quite a bit. Yeah, that jumped up a ton. There we go. Much better in terms of power usage. Our shuttle over here is still waiting on just a bit more food, and then we will get our massive project to go nuke the ice cap. New Boston looks like it's completely filled up as well. What about our retirement dome? I've kind of basically said Last Days is now kind of offline. We're taking down the Last Days Oasis, so we can save a little bit of power and water from that. We have 108 people out of 210, so we have plenty of space. Now, hang on a minute. We should... I didn't say to exclude anyone other than seniors, right? I hope I didn't. No, we've got some seniors. We got some adults living here. I think adults will shift over to this dome as we get our population up more and more. We will get some people into this dome, but it is doing what I wanted it to do. It's got all of our seniors in here. I really want to get a couple. We have at least one medic. A couple of engineers posing as medics, I guess. That's fine. Farming Dome Alpha looks pretty stable. That's been like this for quite some time. It has been just doing its own job and never messing up. Curie Trigon has been really good lately. Although we are hardcore missing a lot of our scientists. But it is what it is. Hopefully with the new class, the new couple of graduate classes coming in, we will be getting more scientists to the dome. Do I not have... Why on earth did I never say scientists are wanted here? Maybe that reset at some point. Awful. All right, keep an eye on the water. We should be getting a massive boost to our water relatively soon. The Spirit of Man 2 is on the way. I think we'll end the episode with the completion of our project. So that's going to be super exciting. Holy crap, we just got blue skies. There it was. We hit 50% atmosphere and 50% temperature. So we now have a clear, blue, beautiful sky on Mars. That is so cool. No more dust storms. We haven't even gotten our mission completed. What a great look. That's really cool. Now, we can't open the domes, right? Let's take a look at the Capitol building. That requires a certain level of temperature, right? It's like, we're not breathable atmosphere yet. We just happen to have blue skies. When do we actually hit breathable atmosphere? 95% atmosphere and 50% temperature. So temperature is good. It's the atmosphere that's the tricky one. And it looks like we're losing more and more atmosphere as we go. So I think we might want to think about throwing down another magnetic field generator. Man, but 100 energy is so painful. We can get it if we wind up having more people move into New Denmark, which is going to be our powerhouse. That's going to be incredibly, incredibly helpful. We could also try to do a special mission. Do we have any more of those missions where you're able to send up a magnetic mirror or anything? Not a magnetic mirror, but just a mirror. I don't think so. So we are going to have to rely on the magnetic field generator. All right, so we're about to finish up this episode with the completion of our special project in order to, that's out there to nuke the polar ice cap. So I'm super excited to see what happens here. Lots more water coming. We're at 35% right now. Survey says, melt the polar ice caps. We're at 55% all of a sudden. The warheads detonated in a magnificent display of light brighter than 1,000 suns. Staggering number of thermonuclear devices has unleashed monstrous amounts of energy, and that has changed the face of Mars forever. A giant leap forward for terraforming. Very, very cool. Did that do anything, that trigger anything? Let me double check real quick. 50% water is not really a requirement for anything, although we should now get the ability to have sustainable pine trees, which is awesome. So I think I can change the plant over to trees. I think I'm going to do that in a couple different areas because I'd love to start seeing some trees here and there. Do we harvest seeds? We do actually harvest seeds from these too. So trees are kind of a self-propagating species. They're going to help us get more and more seeds out there and continue the exponential rise, hopefully, in the vegetation. So, thanks so much for joining me for this episode, my friends. Next episode, we will
Milestone
focus on
achieved.
trying to... Oh, hey, planetary on the surface of Mars. Extra milestone. Lovely. Fear my botany powers. Thank you for that achievement. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. Until then, take care.